Okay, we're back recording. We're with Dave James in
Yep.
his outer office, where Javier is sitting there doing something he probably shouldn't be doing. So let's take a look. Dave, what are we looking at here?
So there's a little bit of history. This is my father's first company. And my father Canyon, my mom Jenna, and myself with a beard here, and my sister Karen. His first company was called Casa Plastering, which became Casa Insulation, which became Casa Insulation Energy Conservation Store.
Wow.
And we opened that up in about 1977.
Your dad looked that way his whole life. He never changed. He never got any older.
He didn't. And then this was Santa Barbara Insulation, which we started in '78. And as the picture, this is taken in about 1983, 84. Yep.
What's this?
Oh, it's a little round of golf with my dad.
Pop? Rancho? Should be worth something someday. God, I wish the shoemaster would buy a Rancho.
That would be a good plan.
There's a collection of odd golf balls. And hard. No, let's just. John. This is so clean.
Yeah, we
It's
just
a really old building. How old is this building?
1938.
This is Javier. Here's,
1938.
Hi, how you
yeah,
doing?
don't be put off by his looks. He's really a good guy.
I'll try to. Don't say that in front of David James, because he's not going to believe you.
Don't tell Dave that. All right.
So this was Brian Cranston's beach house that he built down. Allen Associates built. We just went on the market for $4.5 million.
You've seen? Are you doing Grossman? You're
Grossman.
doing,
Who's Grossman?
Grossman on the Sandyland Point.
Yes. Yeah, for DD Ford. Mm-hmm.
No, RCH. Rich Coffin.
I don't work for Rich.
No.
No.
Mr. Them.
No.
It's unbelievable house.
And then of course there's the book house, famous book house.
Oh yeah, and look at the state it was in.
Yeah.
Sure. That's cool. I thought that whole thing.
Back in 2013.
Was it? Okay, you know what? I need some way of remembering stuff.
And this is a job we did for Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, my kid was always really like. Favorite character out there.
So
Want to
let's
see it up?
no, it's in Sherman Oaks. Sherman Oaks.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, went to Grand High School and North Hollywood High. Graduated from North Hollywood High.
So you want to go look at the warehouse?
Yeah, let's look at the
All right,
warehouse.
let's go this way.
Okay. And out this way is around parking lot, bedrock out there. Windy day, boy.
Yeah, and we're doing some new construction outside.
Yeah, I saw that. Did some concrete there, some
Yeah.
work and new stairs.
Well, we've just kind of moved the stairs.
Dock height. Is there anything like dock height?
Dock height, so
Here, so the trucks can just back
right
up.
in here.
Load them up. Move them out. Come on, bring in the next one. And look at, oh my gosh, you have your own product in your own building. Did
Yeah.
you own this building?
Yeah.
So great.
So all the foam in the ceiling here was leftover foam that it has a shelf life of about 6 months.
Oh.
So some of the products that we had were getting close to about that time. We decided to insulate our ceiling here this year, and we're almost done. We need about another half drum set. We'll be done.
This is just from leftover from from jobs, right?
Didn't quite use it all, and some of the material was donated to us by manufacturers wanting us to try out their product.
So, like, is that yellow different than that yellow?
Yes, this is open cell, and this is closed cell.
Wait, which one's which?
This is closed cell here.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And now that you know what to look for, you really can see. Now that I know what to look for,
It's more of a popcorn effect with the open cell than the closed cell.
Yeah.
And this is also a way for us to train installers to learn technique. So all the guys
that just point and shoot, right?
no, there's a lot of technique to it. So our seasoned installers were able to train some of the new guys to learn here instead of on somebody's job. We'd rather learn where it's not going to be an issue.
Good idea. Now, what are we standing here? What's this product right here? What are we standing?
So what do we got here? This is R30. So this is like we talked about how they shrink wrap it. So we have inside of here 1, 2, 3, just 4 inside of here. But this is R30.
Now do 100 square feet?
No, these bags are about 60 square feet, I think it is.
58.66 square feet.
Yeah, 58. Depending, they always change. There's 11 pieces in there, but it's 10 inches.
10 inches thick.
10 inches thick. So that's 12 feet times 4. That's almost 48 feet high.
Yeah.
16 inches wide.
Yeah. And 16, not
and
14
4 feet.
and a half. 16. Yeah. So you press it into a 14 and a half inch stud bay, but it's very compressible.
All our 30 products are 16 inches wide, except for high density R30s.
Because these don't compress very well.
They don't. Yeah, they actually cut it at 15 and a quarter.
Your regular bed. R30s are 16 too.
Mm-hmm. We don't have any high density R30 here that I know of.
This is R30. Here's the stuff. These eco bats is what we have right on our interior.
Yeah. Now the difference between this and the old yellow material is basically the binder. The old binders were a formaldehyde-based binder, which made the fibers really kind of strong and adhere together like a glue, but also made them strong enough to penetrate your skin and make it really irritating. Yeah. So Knauf, who manufactures this particular product, came up with the idea to come up with a vegetable-based binder that is a lot more eco-friendly, and it doesn't make the fibers as irritating.
Yeah, I haven't found the same irritation from these because I was handling them a little bit today when I was filming. I was touching a couple. Usually you touch that old fiberglass.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely hurts, So we have all different widths, R values, depending on what products that we need for.
30s and 19s.
Yeah, that's pretty much the common, R13, R30, R19. Those are the most common products.
Yeah.
Over here we have R15s.
Yep.
And the R15, they have 5 bags that come in the back.
These are as expensive as the R30, right?
Yes.
And they can go in a 3.5 inch wall.
Correct.
They're just denser.
Very dense and very heavy. Yeah, a lot of weight to them.
No kidding.
Yep.
Even these R19s.
Yeah, about the same.
And then this is the chemicals.
So these are the spray foam products that we carry here. All the foam that's right there will do more than all the fiberglass in this entire warehouse, probably by 3 times. As far as the volume R value.
Foam that you could make you combine
A and B.
2 of these products, right? And A and B are the 50-50 equal parts?
Correct.
So that's enough to make enough foam to equal every bat in this place 3 times in terms of R value and density and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Huh. That's quite the claim.
Yeah. And all of these drums are recyclable.
So
The only thing that's not recyclable is the plastic.
other than the cost, which is more than bats, what's the down?
Well, there's no real down to it. There's really more of where is the best use for the particular product.
Well,
And-
one place we know of is volume
Volume
ceilings.
ceilings.
They're pretty much written into the plan there.
Well, they came out with a code in the International Building Code, I think it was in 2006, of going with non-ventilated roof assemblies using an air impermeable product, which spray foam is air impermeable. And the way to look at air impermeable versus permeable, if you think of if you're a snow skier, you want to have a jacket that doesn't allow the air to go through it. That would be air impermeable, so it doesn't allow air to move through it really quickly. Whereas this particular jacket I have on here is not air impermeable, so when it's windy it just goes right through it, kind of like a cotton sweatshirt. Fiberglass is like a cotton sweatshirt.
Fiberglass is
It does not like air movement through it. And air carries moisture, and in a ceiling assembly, like a vaulted ceiling assembly, that air can pass through the fibrous material, keeping the temperature and the moisture as it's passing through the material, and hit a cold surface where it will condensate. Another way to look at it is like you pull out a cerveza out of the refrigerator and you want to keep it cold. What do you put around it? You put a koozie. That koozie's insulation, and it stops it from sweating, and it keeps your beer cold longer.
Yeah, or just figure cold night, your roof's getting cold, you're cold. It's cold outside, so you're heated the heck out of your house. All that hot air heats up your lid, heats up the fiberglass. You get condensation. That fiberglass gets wet. It's virtually got no place to go. So all of a sudden you start getting rusty drywall screws and your ceiling, stuff like that. So that all got noticed, and the fix for it initially, before the spray foam,
Was ventilation.
was ventilation. You had to like notch every other bay, and then vent every other bay, or vent every bay out from the ridge and to the eave, and it became a big hassle. Or do 2x12 rafters and throw in 10 inches of insulation, leave 2 inches of air gap in between for air movement. This obviates all the need for all that.
Yeah. And those code requirements for ventilating a roof assembly like that are very challenging. They require, presently, the code requires every bay to be ventilated from eave to ridge. Every bay. By 1 inch clearance between the fibrous material. And you throw in a couple moment frames, you throw in a skylight, you throw in a heavy beam, complicated framing, whatever, hip roofs. They're really super big challenge to be able to deal with. And the challenge with non-ventilated roof assemblies is that this condensation could take 10, 15, 20 years to show up. And then all of a sudden you're looking up at the ridge and you see black mold or a mold, and you're like, where did this come from? It could take a long time for it to happen. So.
Yep. So spray foam
eliminates that problem.
Perfectly poised to take advantage of something that's happening that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's just, in my opinion, the advent of insulation and the technology that's taken us from where we were in '68 to where we are now, we're just bettering the quality of our lives and our building envelopes. We're just making better buildings. Yeah. And Dave, you are at the forefront of making a better building. Now, Dave, I've known Dave since I started in this business. I've had a licensed contractor since '81, so probably at least since then. And then we were on the board together for a long time. I was on the Santa Barbara Contractors Association board as board member, vice president, president forever, like well over 20 years. And Dave, you were president for at least
3 years. They had to change the bylaws because my vice president backed out at the last minute, and I couldn't pick somebody to replace him. So we changed the bylaws for me to be a president for a third year.
Third term president. See,
the one and only.
One and only.
And I hope I'm the only one. That's a lot of work.
An incredible golfer too, I might add. So I don't think I can add much to it. You want to show us what you guys are doing out here? Should we walk out here and look?
Let's go around the other way.
Okay, let's go this way. So how sophisticated is the equipment to do de-icing?
Very.
Mixers and pumps and sprayers and blowers. You have just one dedicated truck?
I have four separate trucks, and a typical setup, including the truck, is about $120,000. We have a new truck that's on order right now. It should be here by the end of the month, and it's the latest technology that's on the market. It's unbelievable. And we
all rigged out, all set up for your...
all set up. What?
Making sure you're on. Okay,
am I on?
all set up. Just
he gets too friendly with you, you know?
Full of the stick. full of everything you need. Just ready to start spraying foam.
Ready to go. I mean, we'll probably add some few bells and whistles to it. I mean, just little local things we like to have that they didn't come with. But what we're doing over here is the concrete in this location. This concrete's about 85 years old, and it's sort of cracked in the corner here and got a low spot. And so every time it rained, it'd get a puddle there, and it got worse and worse. And so we had a staircase system here. We're removing that staircase over to against that wall of the building next door. We're going to extend this wall on out a little bit farther so we can back two of my big trucks side by side and back right up to it. You know?
This is just great. And you're in such a great niche here with bedrock, kind of like the edge of bedrock yard.
Yeah,
This is pretty much the heart of Santa Barbara.
It's kind of crazy in here.
This is where you want to be, man.
Definitely gets
That's where
crazy.
you want to be. I love this overhead where it looks like John Kenny's Buster.
You see the bent beam up here?
Okay.
Somebody hit that hard.
I guess. Holy smokes. It's a pretty small I-beam, really, for what it's doing. It's all it needs to be. Oh my gosh, that bit. I was looking at this bit. That's where somebody hit it.
Yeah, somebody hit it with a big truck or something.
So anyway, let's say goodbye to Dave. Dave is just phenomenal. It's so good to see you and interview you. And you know you're going to play that well. And thank you. I'm going to think of a million questions I just could ask you. But
You can always go to our website at www.inslatesv.com. There's a lot of cool learning tabs in there to learn more about insulation and answer some of the questions you may have about products in general.
and also, I'm tasking the whole class to find out where